Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video. I want to first apologize if the audio is not very good. It was kind of difficult to make this video. I'll try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, but I recently bought a new to me 2018 Lincoln MKZ Hybrid, and I updated the Sync 3 software, and I ran into a lot of interesting things that I could not really find on the internet that I think would be very helpful for you to know when you are updating it. I kind of go over a lot of stuff, so it really is in your best interest to please watch this entire video, because I do talk about a lot of important things that I think will be very helpful and you'll be appreciative to hear. But anyway, so I bought this, my new to me car. It came with Sync 3 build 19205, and there's an update that was for 3.0.20204 based on the owner's dashboard. I think it's owner.lincoln.com or ford.lincoln.com. It tells you information about your vehicle. You register your vehicle. Okay, so Ford's instructions are generally self-explanatory, but there are several things that are not really discussed, or they're not disclosed. So the first thing is when you download the update, I'm not going to go through all that part because there are plenty of videos already on YouTube for that. But one of the things I noticed is I think it might matter which browser you use. I recommend Google Chrome because when I tried Brave, which is the browser I use 99% of the time, I downloaded everything, followed all the instructions, I plugged the USB into the front USB port, and nothing happened. What's supposed to happen is you see this updating system software message in the top left corner. That's supposed to be displayed within like 10 seconds after plugging the USB in. Mac users, Apple users, you likely will run into an issue of the files being corrupted. There's a lot of information on that online that talks about how to fix that. I'm not going to go into that because I don't use Apple, I use Windows. But yeah, some of the instructions were make sure it's exFAT, make sure it's at least 32 gigs, it has to be completely empty. Yeah, but just keep in mind which browser you're using because that could potentially cause issues. I recommend Chrome. So anyway, so you plug it into your front USB port. You don't do the back because that's for charging only, from what I've been told. So you use the front. And then after that message, the updating system software, that likely depends on how big the file size is. To do my update, it was only about 400 megabits, which is pretty small. So it was done in about 7 minutes, where I got this message that the installation was complete. I can now remove the USB. The updates will take effect next time you start your vehicle. Now what that means is you have to turn your vehicle off. You have to open the door. That's the key part. You have to open the door and then start the vehicle again. And then after that, you will see a little downward arrow in the top right-hand corner. Right there. It's a little hard to see, but if you click on it, or if you touch it, then you get this message that says Sync was successfully updated. And then to verify that, you can look at the version you now have under settings, which I now have 20204, which is the most recent version. Okay, so after that, this is where stuff gets confusing. So, in fact, you know what? I should probably show you this part. Okay. So I did this last year in a 2018 MKC. I did the USB update, all was good. When you do the USB update and it goes good, it creates an XML file that you're supposed to upload to your vehicle dashboard to confirm the update. You browse the log file, you click on it, you upload it. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you that does not work anymore. I contacted Ford. I had a 45-minute discussion with them on other things, and this was one of the things that brought up. You cannot use this method anymore. I don't know why their website does not say that. You can still download everything on the USB and update it, but for them to acknowledge that you did perform the update, you cannot upload the file anymore. Because what I did was I would upload it for a few seconds, I would see this green check mark, the page would automatically reload, but it would still say an update's available. And I did this over and over and over until I finally got so pissed off I contacted Ford via live chat, which I will show you. And they said that this feature to manually upload the log file, it has not worked. It's been deactivated for a long time. I don't know if they will ever do it again like that. So this is how you now need to do it. So let's see. Okay, so after that, what you now have to do is you have to enable automatic system updates. You have to click the scan for updates now. I will tell you, you have to be connected to your home Wi-Fi. I had issues doing that initially, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And I tried using my phone's hotspot. But every time I did that, it would say previous scan was incomplete. And I tried it over and over and over, and I kept getting that message. And that was one of the things that Ford told me, is that you cannot use a hotspot to do this. You have to use like traditional Wi-Fi. When you do use Wi-Fi, one of the issues I had connecting to it was I had to turn off fast roaming and beamforming. And this was something I saw on one of the forums online. I have a Deco mesh Wi-Fi system. So these were enabled. I was not able to connect at all. Even though every other device in the house could connect, the car would not connect to the Wi-Fi. The minute I disabled that, it connected perfectly. So make sure you disable this. That likely could be your problem for why your vehicle can't connect to your internet. So then once you do that, again, you click this scan for updates now button. It'll take, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 seconds. And then if it's successful, it will say something like last checked for updates. Yeah, it'll just say that. Last checked for updates. This is the equivalent of uploading the XML file. What this is doing is by connecting to your home Wi-Fi, your car is sending the confirmation to Ford, their system, their server, I don't know what it is, but this is now what you have to do to replace uploading the XML file. You cannot do that method anymore. I don't know why they don't disclose that. That's very confusing. So you have to do it this way. So basically, if you cannot connect to your internet, and you want Ford to acknowledge that you did the update, you're kind of SOL. This is the only way you can do it. You have to do it this way. And I did this within about a minute. I checked my computer. I refreshed my dashboard. And this right here, this sync updates, it now says updated. So the car has communicated with them saying, yes, I am updated. So this automatically updated. So now I am at 3.0.202, 20204. Now the only reason now I'm going to get into the other part that I want to talk about. The only reason why I did this update is because I want to update my navigation maps because they are from Q1 of 2015. And it says right here, before updating maps, please confirm your sync is up to date. I thought that what that meant was simply looking at your car and just making sure Oh yeah, 20204. I have the latest update. Okay. The thing is, though, you have to do this step where you have to scan for updates now. Basically, what I'm saying is Ford has to acknowledge that you did it, because you can buy their USB stick. You can start the update, but it will not work unless if Ford says on their end you are updated. So you could spend all this money purchasing this USB, wait an hour to load your maps, and it will not work until they acknowledge on their end that your sync is up to date, and you have to do that by doing that scanned Wi-Fi thing. You cannot do it by uploading the XML file. Okay, so the other thing I would like to show you is the actual conversation I had with them. Okay, so there's that. Now the other thing I would like to show you is the conversation I had about updating the navigation. Okay, and that's that. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think that's everything I have to tell you. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I'm gonna end the video here. Basically, these are just things that are very important to know, but the instructions Ford gives you for updating your sync, they do not list it. Like the XML upload portion, I don't know why the heck that's still even up. They should take that down, or they should clearly disclose that that feature is not working. And personally, I don't think it will be turned on ever again. So yeah, so that was very confusing. And the other thing I want to say is the instructions say that your vehicle always has to be running to do these updates. You cannot do it in accessory mode or just on mode. Like the vehicle has to be truly on as if you're starting it. But then I thought, well, what about people with hybrids? Because you start the car, but the engine doesn't turn on, but yet the instructions say the engine has to be on and running. Well, that's not true. If you have a hybrid, just start the car normally, whether the engine is on or off, whether it cycles on or off, you're totally fine to do this update. So don't worry about that portion. Your engine, if you don't have a hybrid and you have a traditional gasoline engine, yes, your engine has to be running the entire time. But if you have a hybrid, just start your car like you normally would, and it's totally fine if your engine cycles on or off. That's the equivalent of the engine running for their instructions. But yeah, I think that's about it. If I think of anything else, I will post it in the description. If you have any tips or tricks you would like to share, please do so. I know that there's a lot of frustration when it comes to Sync 3. It's a pretty good system, and it's fairly straightforward to do the updates, but the problem is everyone's car is different. Everyone is using different build versions of Sync, so there's bound to be issues. But I'm just going over my experience and the stuff I learned that was not disclosed, or I could not find information on it anywhere. So I think I'm done for now. If I think of anything else, I will add it to the description. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you have a more clear understanding of what to expect by doing these updates. most important things, I guess, is just format the USB the way they tell you to. Oh, actually, that does remind me of one other thing. When you download the files, the download files from Ford's site, what I did was I downloaded it to my, it downloads as a zipped file. I downloaded it to my desktop, then I right-clicked on that file on the desktop. I chose extract, and I chose the location for those extracted items to go to the USB. Some people, they download it, extract it on their desktop, and then they go into that extracted folder and they just copy the items over to the flash drive. I don't know if you can do it that way. I'm just telling you how I did it, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm going to end here. I don't want to take up too much time, so hopefully you found this helpful. And yeah, I'll see you next time.